Maz. Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another WTF Live. What's the Formula Wednesday? Sorry for the technical errors we don't have. There we go. Appreciate that. Today, somebody please leave me some hearts for Mr. Magic Moss in the comments. Go ahead. If you're watching it live, leave me some hearts. If you're watching the replay, leave me some hearts. This is for Mr. Moss, Mr. WTF. He's not able to make it on the show today. He's getting some rest today, taking a personal day, which is much needed. He's been pounding the pavement, making moves behind the scenes to make this whole program a success. So let's leave him some hearts for us. Show him your appreciation while he's taking a rest day this week. All right. It's just me today, so I'm gonna hold it down. I can't promise you it's gonna be 30 minutes, but I will be covering some really good information about why mentoring is critical, and it really just kind of uh, goes into more detail about why you need WTF, why you need to know what the formula is for the success in your particular life. All right, and not only you, because we all know that everybody needs a coach, everybody needs a mentor, even if they don't understand that they do need that, they do. But even more so, our youth need mentorship more than ever. All right, so today I'm going to be covering more than a few points of why mentoring is critical. All right, so number one, success stories and role models. So here at the WTF, all of our mentors, all of our coaches are living examples of success because they have their own life story, right? Now, we all have gone through some things. We all have been going through ups and downs, and we all have a story to tell, right? But not everybody really has the desire to really put those stories in a package that really relates to the youth, right? So here at the WTF, excuse me, we are very selective when it comes to choosing our mentors. And one thing that we do look at is they must have a story to tell because, listen, people are smart. And whether we want to give the youth credit or not, they are a very bright generation and they can catch on to the fake people. They can catch on to the phonies or cap, as they say. They know when people are capping. So people must be able to show that they've gone through some things in order to be able to mentor somebody else to get them to where they are. Right. So if you don't have a story to tell, if you don't have any trials and tribulations that you have overcome, you probably won't be a good fit as a mentor here at the WTF because trust me, I definitely vet all of the mentors that come through here and they are grade A and they actually live the stories that they are sharing with the mentees. All right. Secondly, our mentors recognize unique talents. And that really goes back to them actually having real world life experience. They can understand, they can tell when a child is, or a young man, a teen, has the potential to be great, but that teen may not even realize that they have that potential. And there may be certain traits that teen has, whether it's, let's say that they may be uh, an artistic person, but they may be using it in the wrong way. They may be out in the streets drawing graffiti on a wall, and when they come into the mentorship and they express to the mentor that they've been in trouble for vandalism or whatever the case is, they may be probing that teen and asking them questions um, about their particular interests and how they got even into that particular situation of drawing graffiti in this particular example, right? So we can really kind of take that negative trait or that negative action. It's not a negative trait. Artistic traits are very positive, but they may be using that positive attribute in a negative way. So that's one of the benefits of having a WTF mentor on your team and on your child's team to help to really unlock the positives that are currently negative. So we all know that there's two sides to a coin, and it's polarity and everything: good, bad, up, down, cold, hot, wet, dry. We see it in all walks of life, and it's no different when it comes to this next generation. Okay, so just because they may have fallen into some bad habits and they may have done some things that may not have been smart, which we all have, especially as teenagers, don't count them out. So bring them over to WTF so we can dissect them, talk to them, and really understand deep down what's going on inside of them so we can help to transform their negative outlook on life, their negative actions into positive outcomes. All right. Also, it is important that we don't over or don't underestimate the skill of goal setting. So, I'm not sure about you, but the school that I went to, we didn't really talk much about goals. It was like, sit down in your seat, listen to this, and the goal for you, I'm gonna tell you your goal. I'm gonna set your goal. The goal for all the students is to pass this class. And for me, I was happy getting a C. I was happy, even happier getting a B. Bump A's. I was just trying to get out of class. I was just trying to graduate and not be held back. So that was the extent of goal setting when it comes to at least my personal experience in the traditional school system. But the WTF mentors take a different approach, right? We assist the mentees in setting clear, achievable goals that align with their talents, right? Going back to the graffiti example, we sit down, understand why they did what they did, and then try and turn that into a positive mindset shift for the mentee. But not only that, set goals, set action items so that their time is not idle. And we all know idle time is the devil's workshop. So we want to make sure we set goals for the team based on their talents so that they can begin to move in the positive direction that is in alignment with their talent. So, in the case of this artistic gentleman who was writing graffiti, drawing graffiti on the wall, instead of him being out in the streets causing trouble, we can say, hey, let's set some goals and let's set some SMART goals. How many of you know what SMART goals are? SMART is an acronym: specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and timely, right? Those are SMART goals. SMART goals have all five of those elements. So we sit down as mentors with the teams and set SMART goals so that they can achieve them and so that they are really putting focus into making a life change for themselves and really still aligning with their talents and their interests, but really just use that in a more positive aspect, okay? Because we want to make sure that we're teaching them and really coaching them in things that they like, unlike school where we, sit kids down for 7, 8 hours a day and shove information into their brain that they really don't care about. And we wonder why most people are kind of lost when they finish school and not knowing what they want to do because no one ever really sat down with them and really understood what they want, what they are really interested in. So that's the total opposite of what we do here at the WTF. We help set clear goals based on their talents, and then we move forward from that point on. Now, I'm not saying that this process is going to be easy, but one thing that's also important that mentors do, especially here at the WTF, is we help to build that confidence. We speak life into each and every mentee, especially those who come from broken homes, who come from abusive households, and they're always being verbally beat down, and now more than ever, it's very, very important to speak life into our youth. The Bible says life and death. Life and death. That's that polarity I was talking about earlier. Life and death are in the power of the tongue. And we wonder why why spelling is actually spelling, is casting the words or casting a spell over you, whether it's positive or negative. So we want to make sure that we're casting good, positive spells by speaking affirmations over our youth, over ourselves. So many times, we as people, we're programmed to be negative. We've talked about this time and time again. Society has programmed us to be negative. Yes, true. But since we know that we're being programmed and have been programmed to be negative, now it's our responsibility to counteract that with even more positivity, right? And it's even more important to train up our youth to think positively about themselves, especially when, especially young Black men who are being portrayed in the media as thugs, gangsters, and every negative uh, adjective that you can think of is being described to explain a Black male. So it's now even more important than ever to speak life into them to help them build that confidence. Now, um, going into something that's very, very important is something that we all have encountered, and that is the ability to overcome challenges. Now, mentees are able to overcome obstacles uh, by our mentors placing challenges in front of them, right? Now, these are controlled challenges, right? Like, we're not going to push the mentee to the point where they're overwhelmed and then they just want to give up and quit. We listen to them, we understand what they want, we help them set the goals, but then we have to start to move the needle forward. We have to start to challenge them. Now, this may look like, okay, if the mentee has a challenge or a fear of speaking, which I did at one point. You couldn't pay me enough to do these lives, all right? But now I'm running a whole live by myself and I feel confident, right? But this comes through repetition and it comes from being challenged. So my challenge of public speaking, my fear of public speaking had to be overcome by me facing it. I had to challenge myself to speak publicly. So that's what we do here at the WTF. That's what our mentors and coaches do here at the WTF is we understand what fears need to be overcome by the mentee in order to remove that roadblock so they can get to their goals that we help them set. Remember those SMART goals. And then we progressively begin to increase those challenges. So if a person has a fear of public speaking, we have weekly meetings here at the WTF every single week that complement the curriculum. So we open the floor up to ask the mentees questions about what was in the curriculum, what they have reviewed for that week. And we also get the feedback from the mentees. We actually hear what they have to say to us, whether it's positive or negative. You know, we welcome all feedback. And not to bash the schools, but I just have to show this dichotomy and this difference between the WTF, what's the formula mentoring academy, and the traditional school system. We all know schools are, hey, sit down, shut up, listen, I don't really care what you think about if it's too hard or not. This is the curriculum, this is what you need to do. I don't want to hear your feedback. You know, either do the work or you fail, right? Pass or fail. It's really kind of cut and dry, black and white. But in order for real learning to take place, there has to be a conversation, there has to be dialogue. Because if there's a saying that goes, you only really learn something unless you can teach somebody else. So we open the floor up to be able to um, teach also the mentees, but also allow them to teach us, right? Us as mentors, us as coaches. If we think that we know everything, then we really know nothing, because it is at the point where you know everything. And if you're still learning after you feel like you're an expert, then that's when you are really truly learning, right? When, especially when you're open-minded enough to learn from somebody that's younger than you. I think it really takes a lot of humility, a lot of humbleness to be able to take feedback especially from the younger generation. And I'm not bashing any parents out there, but I've heard this time and time again when I was younger. Don't question me, do as I say, not as I do, this, that, and the other. You're a child, I'm a grown up. You can't tell me nothing. I done been there, done that. You ain't lived life yet. La 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 la. We all know the spiel, right? And I'm pretty sure we've said it to the youth before. But I think that that is a grave mistake by closing off the ability to at least have a conversation at a equal level. Not saying that the teens are your equal as far as like the respect, right? There has to be a level of respect there, but if real knowledge is being shared, I don't care who it's from. Like if you're learning something, I believe that you should be open minded no matter who it's coming from, right? It's not about the messenger per se, it's about the message. So here at the WTF, we're open to receiving feedback and really learning from the new generation because they know all about this technology and all this stuff, and we have to stay current, right? So who better to teach us than the mentees? So, and that kind of takes me to my next point is we create future mentors, right? Um, and I'm kind of jumping around a little bit. I know I may have over skipped the topic, but I'm just kind of fired up right now because this is really passionate on my heart. But the whole purpose of the program ultimately is to continue to grow the mentorship and to add more mentors to our staff. But not only that, we want to groom the mentees to become mentors. So that is the ultimate testimony. That's the ultimate testimony if I could give one is having a mentee come into the program with no confidence, has been in trouble, thinks little of itself, and then over the months and months of being consistent, taking action, and being open-minded to learn, those things are a must. It's not easy, but the ones that come through the program and pass and complete the curriculum are candidates to be promoted from within to actually, help to run the mentorship as a fellow mentor or coach, right? So not only are we looking to transform their mind to really help them as people, but hey, if they want a job, hey, you have to do X, Y, and Z, pass the curriculum, show us that you're serious, and we'll consider you to take on a leadership mentorship role here, actually within the academy in which you graduated from. How cool is that? Who else does that? Do you finish school and are you offered a job if you're a valedictorian? No. College, is that the case? No, you can probably give a speech that, people will forget the next day or next week. So, I mean, but we actually are giving opportunities here at the WTF. And um, I have a lot more, but I want to say this, and I'm gonna go ahead and close out. I'm not a big talker, but I want to go ahead and just make this last point and not make this live too long. And want to get y'all on with y'all's day. But the last thing I want to really touch on is the long-term relationships. So our coaches and mentors are going to build lasting relationships with the mentees by providing ongoing support. Now, we have a curriculum that's 12 weeks, but once they finish that curriculum, y'all, we're not going to kick them out of the community. That would be insane because, in my opinion, one of the biggest values that we provide is not the curriculum, it's not the content, right? We talk all the time about information. We're in the information age. You can go on Chat GPT, you can go on Google and find pretty much anything that you want to find. But the community of like-minded individuals who are on the same page as far as improving their lifestyle and making a positive impact in this world, that is priceless. You can't look that up online. And to me, that is hands down the most valuable. That's like we can't even really put a price tag on the community, right? I mean, we have put a price tag on it, but um like is my point is that it's really priceless, having a community of young people and older people also who want to achieve some level of whatever they consider to be success and doing it the legal way using their god-given talents and gifts, right? So by saying that, we're never going to kick them out of the community. They always have access as long as they abide by the guidelines of the community. They will have access to the growing community of WTF mentees and mentors for life. So, what does that look like? So, once they finish the 12-week curriculum and any subsequent courses that they want to take to increase their skill set, okay, then now they have a growing community of people who they can tap into. We call that reaching in before reaching out, right? They can reach into that pool of people and say, hey, guys, gals, I have this idea for a business, for a product. Does anybody have any connections over here? Does anybody feel like they're interested and help me out? That's powerful, and as we know, that's why most people join fraternities and sororities, right? It's for the community. All right. So that said, give me a like, give me a comment, give Big E a heart, some hearts below for Coach WTF, Coach E. He'll be back next week, but I really enjoyed y'all's time. Thank y'all for joining us for another WTF Live Wednesday. And feel free to hit me up in the inbox if you have any more questions. Feel free to text that number below. Text WTF to 314-970-3918, and it'll send you all the links to all of our social media and websites so you can get more information about how you can benefit from the WTF mentorship. And not only you, but your team as well. And it may be at no cost to you because we have access to some backdoor funding that's set aside just for not-for-profits, which we are, and it's coming straight from the government. So there's plenty of money set aside. If you're challenged on the financial side, we will definitely help you out and work with you. But you got to hit us up and let us know what your situation is, right? We don't know if you don't tell us. But nonetheless, I'll run my mouth enough. Hit me up in the DMs. And always remember, WTF not only means what's the formula, but we also teach our mentees to WTF, which means win through focus. All right, until next Wednesday, I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.